Hello everyone, it's Marina and Bob.
Hi.
So we are doing a very short video here by this diner. I've never been to it, but it's right on the beach. And Bob, how is it?
It's good. So I've been here once several years ago. It's called Patrick's Roadhouse. It's one of these places that has been here for decades and just kind of a cozy feel. They got all kinds of sort of Americana type decor inside. But it's right on PCH here, so I definitely recommend checking it out if you ever get the chance.
Yeah, so we will find out. It's very casual, and the topic of this video, I want to get Bob's feedback on one of my presentations. Okay, so we'll do it. Yeah, so we are inside.
Yeah.
We just got seated. So what were you mentioning?
They got some like 1940s type of music on the stereo, and as you can see, there's all kinds of cool old antiques and old decor.
Yeah.
Don't know the details of the history of this place. I'm sure I could look it up online.
Maybe we can actually read it in the menu. Yeah, so Bob, tell us more about this diner.
If you Google Patrick's Roadhouse, it describes it, I think, a very good way. The way I describe it, a retro American diner with antiques hanging from the ceiling and a peekaboo ocean view. So you can see the ocean out there, though it might be a little bit difficult on camera. So just a little bit, because it's still across the PCH.
So my first question for you, Bob, is basically about feminine versus masculine energy in terms of dating. I just want to hear your perception as a man, because sometimes even women are confused about it. I mean, for you specifically, is it important when you're looking for a partner dating that a woman has feminine energy and or not? And if it is important, what does it really mean for you?
That's a good question. Personally, I would say that in many ways, I can be quite progressive in terms of relationships, but only under certain circumstances. There's other circumstances where I might feel the opposite, or I would say that I actually do tend to find certain masculine energy in women attractive. I think it's kind of great. I like it when a woman makes sort of a first move and contacts me on a dating app or something. I think that's great. I like that. And if they're maybe ambitious in a career that might be male dominated, I'm very impressed with that, and I can definitely agree that that is an attractive quality. However, the real issue, and this might connect with the second topic that we're going to talk about boundaries. But the issue comes about when a strong woman who has a masculine energy also then really claims to want more of a masculine man, and then tries to make all the decisions. It's like, well, you can't have both, and that's really the key thing. Is that I feel like I could have a pretty typical masculine energy. Certainly, I think in the fact that I like organizing and leading things, like whether it's hiking or travel plans or what have you.
But what is energy, feminine versus masculine? Like, how do you really feel it?
Yeah, so I would certainly say that a masculine energy would be example of that as someone who takes charge, takes the lead, and that can be a man or a woman. It's more common in men, but it's certainly found in women too. Also, feminine energy would be maybe a bit more on the nurturing side, a bit more on like the softer side, I guess. I think there's a bit of a stereotype as far as what that means. Oh, we got our food here, so.
So we just got our food. This is fish and chips, cod, Icelandic cod, and this is a burger, right?
Yeah, it's Ortega chili pepper and some cheddar and I forgot what else.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
Garlic fries.
Yeah. So if you want to continue your thoughts.
Yeah. So feminine energy, I would say, is probably more less of the one taking the lead and taking charge, but is more supportive and nurturing, maybe a bit more interest in maybe stereotypical feminine things, like maybe a man who is okay with staying at home with and watching the kids and doing the cooking, or likes to go shopping for clothes or something. I don't know. I think would be an example of feminine energy, again, which may be more common in women, but men also have that as well. I think that most people have masculine and feminine energies at different times. We were having a conversation just now about how being loud or aggressive is typically considered to be more of a masculine energy, and that, and whether I find that attractive or not is kind of depends. I usually don't find that attractive, but it could be really depend on the context. I would say that if she's loud and aggressive with me, then I would feel kind of sort of like a little oppressed, I guess. And I would feel a little...
So that would be more masculine, too masculine for you.
Exactly.
Okay.
I feel like I'm being kind of... it does not feel good at all. I think I have enough masculine energy personally where I does not feel good whatsoever if I feel like I'm being bossed around, being told what to do. It affects confidence, and it's certainly not
kills romance, maybe.
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely can kill romance.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the other question is about boundaries, right? And when someone really wants you, accept me 100% the way I am, and but at the same time maybe they want you to change. I mean, how far can it go?
That's a good question. So I've actually learned over the years to absolutely set boundaries. And there's a reason for this, is that we're all different, and none of us knows exactly what the right advice is for anyone else. We can give advice, but an individual's own situation is going to be different enough where one person's advice could be counterproductive to the person they're trying to help. Is, say, like a woman, and I've experienced this myself, say a woman says and expresses that they prefer men who are more masculine, who are more of a take charge kind of guy, but then they are constantly trying to tell the man what to do and how to do it, and telling that you're not doing it right. And well, the question comes is, well, what do you want? Because if you're going to encourage a man's masculine energy, then you can't tell them what to do and how to do it all the time. It's like you got to pick one or the other. And so I think that is, kind of an example of like why boundaries are important. Because I think for a man needs to be able to do things and get things done in the way that he knows best. And having some of that independence, I think, is part of the masculine energy. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so Bob, the last one is about maybe looking in the past and constantly comparing partners to what happened before and what may happen in the future. Does that help? Maybe those instances that we had, kind of focus on them and maybe even like create some kind of hesitation in our future behaviors. Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would absolutely say that people can experience in their lifetime people in their lives that will negatively impact their self-confidence to do things, whether intentionally or unintentionally, and this can absolutely
sabotage, right?
Yeah,
maybe future relationships.
carry that with them, and I think that a way to get beyond that. Certainly, I think it's very important to help have friends that are going to be encouraging and that believe that you can do something well, and that you have a lot of hidden potential. And I think so. And I think that is going to be very, very helpful.
And maybe communication skills, right? Asking a person that your potential partner, what is okay for them, what's not okay,
Yes.
what do they really think, like be more open about certain experiences.
I think that's absolutely true. That's communication very early on, and this not just goes for romantic relationships, but any interpersonal relationship, whether it's with friends or coworkers or family. Communication early on can prevent a lot of problems later on. When you understand what people's hot buttons are, or where their nerves are, and you can maybe work to avoid that, so you don't end up with the conflicts.
Okay. Thank you.
So another thing to know about Patrick's Roadhouse, in addition to its retro vibe and the antiques hanging out up on the walls and ceilings, this was featured in the TV show Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, which is hosted by Guy Fieri. Love that show. It's a great TV show that features little places around the country that are really good, but no one would really know about local places.
Okay, so we're actually at the beach. We just had our late lunch. And Bob, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts.
Absolutely.
It's definitely helpful to translate how people behave in relationships and dating in general. So we are at the beach, and Bob, tell us which one it is.
So I'm pretty sure this is technically Will Rogers State Beach. So where we just ate Patrick's Roadhouse is kind of right on the border between Santa Monica and Pacific Palisades.
Yes.
So I think this is kind of where the Will Rogers Beach, I think, becomes Santa Monica State Beach once you get further down that way. But yeah, Santa Monica has bigger buildings. Pacific Palisades is high bluffs with houses on them. So
Okay. Thank you so much. And again, this was a really cool diner. It is from the 1970s.
Yeah, it was
right?
built in the 1970s, or started then. Though the vibe in there is like a little, kind of a little bit more like 1940s type of vibe. They're
Yes.
kind of playing like big band on the stereo. So yeah.
Yes, and again, thank you everyone for watching, and share your thoughts about what Bob said, and if you agree with that. Okay, thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you next time.